Welcome, Aries, to another wave of love reading for you, where we discuss however the topic of love would like to be disclosed in the viewpoints of Bastet, which is one of the energies that I read for. Her sister channel can be found in the description box below, and also various of other forms of entertainment readings for you, should you desire to use your intuition and browse other material of mine. Bear in mind that I am 7th that reads these energies for you. I am a master healer that provides remote wellness alignments and tarot intuitive insights such as this. The description box below will also have other details in regards to my newly launched website for your viewing pleasure to get a better sense of as to who I am. Sheesh. All right. Whatever interests you in the topic of Aries is whomever this reading is for. Whether that is for you because you bestow a relationship with Aries or the latter, the point is whatever brings you here in this very moment may be derivative, that there's something here within this reading that is for you. Bear in mind that you have tapped into a collective reading held by me 7th, and this is not a personal one-to-one reading that you and I have a lot of time for. In regards to the reading, feminine and masculine energies are non-gender specific. However, please remember that femininity encapsulates feminine and masculine energies. Masculinity also encapsulates feminine and masculine energies. All right, wave of love for Aries. You're trying to attract the perfect form. The perfect form and the perfect ways and how to show up for transactional wealth, transactional successes, transactional blessings to come your way. However, I feel that this is a little bit of a narcissistic appeal to this desire. The outcome of what it feeds to you or what you anticipate for it to feed back to you is still transactionalizing variables of emotional manipulation. So it's not clean money. It's not a clean transaction. And for that, Bastet will help you make that transaction. Her sister's energy will make that merciful and merciless for you. That's up to you, the ego and the soul self, whatever you identify that as to be, the ritual of your own die making. Okay? Page of Pentacles. So I do feel that there is, again, this little bit of snooty, narcissistic anticipation before going or executing a situation, and you're bigger than anyone else. You're bigger and deserve more. And I don't think you're really realizing the cost of that type of mental stature should you be guilty of having this. All right, so let's see why this is the case. Let's see why this is the case. Let's help you get you an image. All right, the image is because you know no better. That's the excuse of your own ego, and the reason why the ego continues making those decisions where maybe you're a bit snooty, maybe you're a bit selfish, maybe you're a bit narcissistic, maybe you don't know any better. Maybe you just have a very high and loud external of an ego. I mean, you are Aries, right? However, when you base your characteristics of illegitimizing your sense of accountability and responsibility for the external energies that you promote and triggering, then you're participating in emotional manipulation. And that's where things become very interesting, where you will either figure out your own 12 steps of addictive personality rehab therapy, I'm hearing. to reach emotional maturity, to reach emotional intelligence, which you claim you don't have. But with this high snootiness and this high sense of appeal of attitude for yourself, it begs the question I'm hearing. All right. So that was the why. Let's see to where. Where are you doing it? Where are you causing these uber high egotistical transactions to go? Oh, Lord. The Tower and the Page of Cups. Emotional manipulation. They're not going fuck nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. You're back at square one all the fucking time. All the fucking time. It's like you're not getting the fucking nose. The nose means you're not paying attention to your higher self. You're not paying attention to your ego. You're not paying attention to intuition. If the word higher self seems so, oh, I don't know if I believe in it. Okay, then why are you here? Why are you here? If you're here on a spiritual quest, this is not a spiritual reading. The spiritual reading is what I mean by that. If you're here on a spiritual quest and this is not a spiritual reading, it can't be a spiritual reading for someone to tap into a collective reading. Why? Because there's too many receptors that are being triggered and you don't know succinctly if that message was for you. So this is entertainment purposes only. This is to feed the ego. You know, the decision on the pursuit of influence it has on some certain aspects of your life, whether it be economical, emotional, physical, spiritual, that's your choice. That's your taking the input and navigating it for a certain gain, a certain clause, a certain purpose. Ego does that. You can do this intellectually. Ego can do this manipulatively. Ego can do it unknowns to itself. So where is it going? It's going fuck all, anywhere, nowhere. It's going right back to you, baby. You gotta figure it out. Because if things aren't sticking, if things aren't working in your favor, or you have so much anxiety anticipating a return rate, an investment, means that you had too high of expectation to not deal with all possibilities, but just one possibility before making the transaction, which is selfish. Or one driven by fear. So, that's that. All right. All right, Wave of Love. What other story you want to tell? As to why you feel, Aries, that you are drowning in certain ways, or, you know, the odds are stacked against you. How are you feeling like you're drowning? That's some of y'all excuses. You might be drowning because you know no better. I beg to differ. Yeah. Let's see. Ten of Pentacles. It's still material. All right. You still want the consequence, the end of a transaction to be materialistic. You need something to blossom in the material world to feel satisfied and assured that something manifested towards an internal desire. So your expectation is something to be physical, whether that person is more emotionally available is still part of the physical, because you desire this person to be right here in order to meet the demands of what it is that you want. And that is unrealistic expectation, because certain demands you can't demand or show up in accountability and responsibility on your own. So the fact that you want to generate this law of attraction and have it repel a reflection back to you of equal stance somehow always gets ripped, like the Tower suggested, and it always comes and fucks up with a material gain, whether that be money, physical, anything 3D for that matter. Emotionally, you're not at the same level than whomever is at the end point of the desire that you had going into the reading, thinking this is going to be about a certain other person rather than yourself. But coming into something, expecting someone else to know more about what someone else is going to be doing, and that something else includes choosing you, is manipulation. There's a huge despair of not being able to let go of other people making their own choices for themselves, and you dealing with the consequences of them choosing themselves just as much as you choose yourself for certain transactions that you want to philosophize that you deserve this accolade of success, whether it be monetary, material, or whatever. But you're not listening, you're not accepting, and that is the root of the cause of the problem of you physically having a lot of stress. And that physical stress can more or less be only subjugated where the ego will be less active, which is right before and during sleep. You can't entertain your ego that much when you're trying to rest and go to bed and go to sleep. And so other emotions that have been unaddressed or avoided by the ego during the day, during the course of time, come up in those moments, and they're driving you bananas. They're driving you insane. It's causing a bit of chaos of the mind, chaos of the heart, chaos of the soul, chaos of the gut, just chaos. I think you want to blame other people for the way you become triggered. It's not their responsibility. If you are threatened or if you're victimized, you need to remove yourself from that situation. If you're imprisoned in being able to not have the resources to make those decisions, to be able to move, I'd suggest becoming louder spiritually in the isolated moments so that someone outside of that can heed your call. Because you cannot be in this moment, resonate with some of these messages, and not believe that energy is timeless, spaceless, and fucking loud. I'm going to leave that exactly where that can unfold. Alright. They don't want me to read any more tarot, so let's get you some closing out messages. I highly suggest that if you feel weighted down by this reading, although this is not a one-to-one personal reading, that you challenge yourself to absorb the sister energies of Bastet, which is to be found in the description box below via the Justice series that I hold on Sekhmet's channel. Okay? It's an option. All right, waning, whatever the word is, crescent, rest. The last statement coming through of the suggestion to become louder wherever you feel imprisoned via internal matters can be found via the methodologies of, let's say, rest. And have that be loud. And anticipate. Don't expect, however, anticipate. And we have Black Moon Lilith guiding that. This is Bastet's energy for sure. To assist you in your communication aspect, what it means to listen to the way or the possible procedures of the way via you and her. All right? That being said, Aries, I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.